Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hacktoberfest wrap-up, and welcome to WikiTree Day and WikiTree Week. It's lots of things to celebrate here. And I'm joined, as always, with my lovely co-host, Jamie.
Hello.
And Murray is joining us, wearing a lovely pair of dangling white earrings. His earbuds. That's great. So yeah, welcome everyone. I hope you're having a good WikiTree day. And I didn't make the wake up call, the 8 a.m. ones, but I'm sure that went well. And there's lots of events that are planned through the whole day. Include, I think we just finished. Was it bingo at noon that was playing? So, and there's lots of events, including a wrap up tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I hope you're enjoying that. But the purpose of this for our next hour or so will be to wrap up what we've done all through the month of Hacktober. And so there was a number of developers this year that got involved, and lots of testers and other people who've helped out. It was really a great community effort this year. So that was really good to see. Very nice. So we're going to showcase some of the things that were done. And but before we do, I thought I would turn it over to Jamie, and because it was her idea, it was her encouragement that actually came up with the idea, or to encourage WikiTree to engage in Hacktoberfest. So Jamie, what is this all about, and why did you start this?
So Hacktoberfest it's not just a WikiTree event. It's been going on like online in the open source community for 13 years, maybe 10 years, something.
Yeah.
I don't I forgot to look it up before this. For a while, and it's basically to encourage people to contribute to open source projects because they're important, and a lot of projects need people to work on them. And so because so we started was it three years ago? This is the third year that we did it.
Mm-hmm.
We were just starting to, or we had opened up the source code for our dynamic tree, which was just, one view where you could view your pedigree chart and click it and it would open up. And so we're like, okay, well, we'll put that as open source. Maybe someone will want to improve it, but no one from the apps project was super interested. And then the other thing that we had going on is we had multiple browser extensions popping up. So I think there were 5 or 6 of them. And so it was like, maybe to encourage people to contribute to the dynamic tree, and also to get people to work together on browser extension features, we can have some open source projects and do this during the month of Hacktober, because if you register on the official Hacktoberfest site, you get some goodies there. Although they stopped giving out t-shirts last year, I think.
Yeah.
So that's a bummer. So yeah, so we decided to try it out, and so the first year we were pretty successful. We launched the WikiTree browser extension on Chrome and Firefox at the end of the month, and we also launched the Tree Apps tab with various different tree app views. And so that was the first year, and then last year we I think one of the big things we did is we got the browser extension working on Safari, and adding more tree app views. And this year it just included, or continuing to add more features to both of them. So, yeah.
That's great. Yeah. Well, it really has exploded. If you think of first of all, there wasn't a tree apps before, right? There was the apps page, and most of those were standalone apps.
Yes.
Which was okay to get there if that's where you knew where it was, but it wasn't nearly as handy. So now that there's that tree apps tab that's on every profile, it's so much easier to get to any of those standard apps. So that's been great. And if you think of the small list we had, well, relatively small list we had after the first year, and now, so that's great. Yeah. So someone's waiting at the door. I'm actually in an office at the church because I have to play for a funeral shortly, but hold on a sec. I have to mute myself.
Okay. I guess I think Greg was going to talk about the importance of testers and other people that were participating other than developers, but since I don't know when he'll be back. I guess I can oh, maybe he's coming back right now.
Hey there, sorry. Someone needed a key to get into the church. And lucky I have it.
Yeah, the church key.
I've got the church key, but not that church key. So were you doing something, or should I go into?
I didn't know how long you were going to be gone, so I was just going to start showing apps off. But since you're back, you can go into.
So one of the things, so lots of new things, and as I mentioned, up at the top, we had lots of people who were helping test things out and documentation. Here's my keys. So, and that's invaluable because as coders and programmers, we create these wonderful things that work perfectly up here. And when we test them, they work fine on our own devices, but don't always work for everyone else. Mm-hmm. Because not everyone goes through and uses the program the logical way that you the right and true, honest way to use the program. Why would you do that? Why would you type in a letter when it's clearly asking for a number? Like all these silly things. And so we need testers, and we value them very much. But there is a valuable lesson that no matter how much testing you do, sometimes things go awry and things that just don't pop up. So, for example, the project that I worked on isn't actually a tree app, or at least it's not a tree app yet. We might end up moving it there so that it's easier to access. We'll see. But it's available now in the apps page, and it's actually also available in the WikiTree browser extension in the preview version, and will be eventually in the full version. And that is the Mystery Box app. We unveiled the Mystery Box challenge on Sunday night, Vicky Blanco and myself. And I had created an app which allows you to pick a mystery box. It gives you 5 random profiles, and then you solve those profiles, and then you've done your mystery box for the day. And it's like a Wordle, you get one a day. Unfortunately, it was so popular that it sort of crashed the system. So let me see if I can. Now, I'm going to try and share. I'll share this window. And we're going to have okay, so do you see my profile right now? You have to talk to me because I'm only on one screen. This is killing me here.
We see ourselves. I see you, and I see Jamie has disappeared, I guess.
Okay, then I've shared the wrong thing. Okay. Let me.
There you go.
Oh.
Jamie's back.
And now do you see my profile?
That's your profile, yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so I'm going to go to, let me just see. If I go to add, find apps, go to the app, I go find apps, and I can scroll down, and the mystery box is right there. So I'll open up that mystery box. I put an up notice because of the crash to warn people that if things aren't working the way they should, then and that's why. But what was happening was the database that I had used, too many people were accessing it once, and I didn't have it robust enough to handle that. So at some point it kind of crashed. But anyways, this is how it works. You choose a level of mystery that you want to do. You choose a time frame, and then you can either choose a country directly, or if you want, you could actually type in a specific location. So I'm going to choose Bas-Canada, and then you can pick the mystery box. You've got a random selection of mystery boxes, and you can see that this is only Tuesday, right? Only Tuesday. It was released on Sunday night at 8:00 p.m. And after only 2 days, someone has already solved up to the first 93 mystery boxes, along with a few others in between. and you can choose anywhere from 94 to 190. And eventually, you know, the numbers will just keep on rolling. But that's how popular it's been so far. So I could choose one of those boxes, and then it would give me 5 random profiles. But I'm not going to go through. I'm not going to go through that right now because I'll let you do that, so you can try it. But if you go to the challenge stats, you can see that there are, right now, as we speak, this moment in time, there are 15 people, WikiTreeers around the world, who are working on active mystery boxes, trying to solve them. In the last 24-hour period alone, 61 of them were solved. And we've had a total of 77 solved altogether. So that extra 16 were solved further away than 24. So in the first little bit of time. So it's kind of cool how it's gone. But again, that the breaking of the database and that stuff was something that I had not predicted would happen, or I had hoped that it would happen during the testing and not during the live challenge. So if you've been affected by that, my apologies. You just send me a message by Discord or email or WikiTree message, and I will give you credit for the box that you did that got wiped out. So there was a 12-hour window from Sunday night till Monday morning, and then there was another hour yesterday afternoon where it got corrupted again. So, and I'm doing more regular backups. So if it gets corrupted, then we'll only lose smaller bits of time. But in the meantime, I'm programming a better solution for that. So anyways, there we go. That's my story. That's what I did during the month of Hacktoberfest. And that's kind of a peek behind the curtain of programming and programming pitfalls. So, Jamie, do you want to talk about some tree apps? Because there were a lot of new ones.
There was a question about your
was there? Okay.
Stuff.
No, I haven't worked on the time zone conversion yet. So one of the things, and I didn't show it when I was demonstrating, but it keeps the stats and it records your local time when you've finished the box, and then it actually shows a calendar and plops the boxes on the calendar, and then in the other stats, there's a place where it goes by date. But sometimes it stores the data properly in your local time zone. It actually says the time zone in there. So it's kind of funny because you see New Zealand time zone popping up, you see Pacific time zone. So you've got an idea that people from all around the world are using it. But the app sometimes uses local time zone when it's displaying things, and sometimes it's using UTC. And I think sometimes it might be using server time zone, but I'm not quite sure. So there is some conversion issues that I have to work through. I've tweaked one area where I think it works better, but there's still some oddity happening. Anyways, but I want to fix the database first, because that's a more pressing issue, making sure that the whole system doesn't crash, because I know it's recording the information properly. So fixing the display after the fact is more of a cosmetic thing compared to the actual functioning of the challenge and it crashing. So I will get to it. I haven't quite solved it all yet, Lisa, yet. Any other questions? Oh, Christine said it was working for her today. That's good. So good news. So, and Fiordalisi says she loves the tree apps. So I think that's a good segue.
Yes. So here is, I signed into a different account, one that's used for Apple to test our browser extension. So there won't be any private information disclosed. So first of all, are you able to see the inspection window? Or did nothing pop up? Like on the side, or is it just the tree app screen?
Got the tree app screen.
Oh, okay. So there.
And you're showing the Onatoffel
Yeah.
ancestor list.
Unfortunately, I was gonna try to show how to disable your cache, because some people are having trouble loading. Actually, maybe if I share my entire. So yeah, there's been a problem after an update, like I think it was about 5 days ago, where one of the important files was renamed, and so some people's caches haven't cleared, and so they can't access, or they can access tree apps, but they can't pick anything in the drop down. So I'm going to show everyone how to solve that.
Oh no,
We have that issue because that's kind of important. So
yes.
let me see if I can share my,
Yeah.
my window, and if that
Yeah.
will.
Rob says that we have to share the whole screen. Sharing a window.
Yeah, so I'm gonna hopefully. Okay. This is okay. So can you see the developer thing on the side this time?
Yep. Mhm.
Okay. So to get there, the easiest way is to right click and inspect anywhere on the screen. And then this thing will pop up. If you have Chrome, there should be something similar on Firefox.
Mhm.
And I know there's a solution for Safari, like on iPads and stuff. If this doesn't work for you, feel free to email me and I'll give you the directions on how to fix it.
Mhm.
But if you go up toward the top, there's a network tab, and there's this click or checkbox called Disable Cache.
Oh.
Click that, then refresh the page, and that should fix your tree apps.
Oh, okay.
And then you can uncheck the box. So a lot of people have been struggling with this in the past few days. Rial was the one that figured out the solution. So
Mhm.
to get it to work for most people, because like a lot of people even clearing their cache or logging out was not working. So this
Really?
might help you if there's an issue.
Mhm.
And so now I'm going to go back to the other screen. But yeah, so if you're still having issues, feel free to email me or post in Discord in the tech chat, and we'll help you out. Because I know there's been multiple posts in G2G about that over the last few days.
Mhm.
I don't know if this is universal, but I know that on Safari on a Mac, I just rebooted my computer and it restored itself.
Mhm.
But I don't know whether that's true of all Macs.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm not sure. There was one person or two people, I think, that said that after like restarting didn't help with this issue. So
Mhm. Is the issue that Lisa has there, is that similar or is that a
no,
different?
but I did figure that bug out. So
Oh, okay.
it has to do with clicking the button before the page loads. And I only figured this out because I was at my parents' house, which has very, very, very slow internet. So I was able to see what happened because I've been trying to figure this bug out for, I don't know, a month or two, because it's
Ooh.
been happening for quite a while. And I just could never get it to happen to me. But it happened to me like a whole bunch while I was on slow internet. And so I was able to figure out a way to recreate it. So there's a fix. Because I've been busy the last few days, I haven't tested it, but it probably will go out or be fixed sometime this week. So
Excellent.
it's unrelated to apps. It was a WikiTree core sort of thing.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but yeah, it definitely was annoying.
Mm.
So yes, everyone that's been running into that problem with adding, family members, it should be fixed pretty soon.
Okay.
Um,
And Rial says that there is a similar disable cache on the network app tab inspector in Safari.
I might have to make a help page maybe because this probably
Mhm.
will happen again at some point. So
It's possible, yeah.
just direct people to there, like ways
Yeah.
to debug tree apps if it stops working. Okay, so now I will show off what people did this or last month.
Mhm.
So nothing was done on the on and TOEFL list, but I just
Mhm.
loaded it up first.
Right, yeah.
So the first new one
Mhm.
is the Ancestor Cemeteries app, and that is not loading the cemeteries, but maybe because I don't have any cemeteries on these people.
Right.
Let's see. I may not have any cemetery categories on. So let me change the
Oh, the good old Adams.
yeah, that's what I use a lot just because I know he has quite a few family members. So Ancestor Cemeteries. This was created by Douglas Cohn.
Cool. Yeah.
Cohn. Okay.
Mhm.
He's a new contributor this year, which is great.
Yep.
So yeah, so you can get a list of all the cemeteries for your ancestors, depending on what person or all the ancestors of the person you enter in the tree apps. And you can show up to 100 at a time. You can also, but there's only 34 here. So, and you can also search. So it seems like everyone here is, or most everyone here is in Hancock Cemetery. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And you can see like which people are missing cemeteries. And the way that it finds cemeteries, it looks for cemetery categories on the profiles. So if it says NA here, it's probably because there isn't a cemetery category on that profile yet. So it's a good reminder to go and categorize your ancestors' profiles. So yes, this was the first new app. And then the other new one, which was created from a suggestion by in G2G, because I before Hacktoberfest, I made a post that was like, does anyone have ideas on what people can work on? Because sometimes, or actually a lot of times, people don't have any idea. Like they have programming skills, but they're like, I don't know what I should do. Like everything has already been done.
That's right.
There's lots of people have ideas that no one's ever thought of. So someone suggested to create a chart that would show you what countries your ancestors were from. So the Heritage Charts app was created by David Weinberg, and he also participated last year. He did a bunch of improvements to the statistics app. But this year, this is what he worked on. So it's Heritage Charts. You can enter a WikiTree ID, choose how many generations you want to see, and it will give you a chart of where your ancestors are from. A lot of people have been pointing out that the place names are not the greatest, but it depends on what the place name is in the profiles. So if there's messy place names, you might want to check your ancestors and see if any of them have incorrect place names or are missing like the country. And then there's some issues with like especially older profiles and like stuff like the United States where we'll list New Hampshire because the United States didn't exist yet. So I think we probably would want to figure out what to do in that case. Like, do we want to group it into like colonies or something like that? Or do we want to leave it? So yeah, so this is the basic chart. You can also, there's also a details view, which is kind of cool. So you can see the ancestors, and so you can see what the stats are for, or the chart is for each generation.
That's neat.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool to kind of see like how it changes through the generations.
Right.
And like the further you go, the messier it kind of gets. And the other thing that's kind of humbling is if you show missing ancestors as unknown country. And then like toward the end, it's like, oh yeah, I have a lot of unknown ancestors and unknown countries in my ancestry. So it's kind of like, oh yeah, maybe that's why my DNA results show, stuff I don't expect, because there's all these people I do not know.
Great, it could be.
Yeah. So this is a really cool chart. And everything I'm showing you, this is just on the live site, so you can go there right now and try stuff out. So yeah, those were the two brand new ones. There's also there were also some other oh wait, no, I lied. There is another new one. Very
Slippy.
The Slippy tree, yeah.
The Slippy tree.
So this was he goes by anonymous on WikiTree, but said we could use his name on this video. So his name is Mike Bremser. And Slippy tree is really cool. So it will show you. So yeah, you can just start loading ancestors and family, and it's just very
it's so cool.
This is a line that has some really strange relationships because of I have a polygamous ancestor that married a wife and or his wife's mother as well. So that's why there's a weird line right here, I think.
No way.
Hey, but it works. so that it broke Ancestry for quite a while. So this is impressive that it shows it.
Wow.
Yeah, you can see she's here and also, or she's like here and then also here. So yeah, so you can like just kind of scroll around and show different things. You can also like remove a branch if you don't want to see it. Like there you go. Now they're gone. And then the other cool thing you can do, well, there's a lot of cool things. There's different categories of people you can choose from. So let's say I want to see all English people, and it will mark them.
Look at that.
So that's nice. And the other thing you can do is you can download an SVG file of the current view. So you click that, it will download to your computer. I don't know if it's showing you. And yeah, and so it will give you a SVG file of like this that you can see on the screen, which is really, really cool if you want to share it somewhere.
Nice.
So yeah, so those were the three new views, which are all pretty cool.
Very cool. Yeah. Now with this one, with the Slippy tree, can you actually grab any of those panels and move it down? Like, can you make a little more space between the mother and daughter who are married to the same guy, like in the middle there?
So not that I know of.
No. Okay.
Unless if there's a setting I don't know about. But yeah, it's mostly if you click on the screen, it will move it around, but it won't.
The algorithm is placing it itself. So yeah.
Yeah. So yes, those were the three new ones. And then there was also work done on some of the older apps. One I didn't bring up the links to the development version because it's not yet completed. But
the printable?
Joel Richard,
yes.
Yeah, that's how you say his name. Has been working on improving the printer-friendly view. So this is what it looks like right now. He's improving it. So this column is up here, and you can add an extra generation to the chart, which is helpful. But yeah, I forgot to find the links before we started this, so I don't have it to show you guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, so look for that soon. And then the other thing that was worked on is the CC7 Views app. So
you worked on that with Riel, didn't you?
Well, we kind of worked on it separately. Like I didn't know he was working on it last minute, and then he didn't know I was working on something last minute. So it was kind of, we were overlapping. Although once we figured out we were both working on it, we kind of were like, I showed him my code before I made it live just to make sure it wasn't interfering with what he was doing. So Riel like added or he fixed some bugs, I think. Let me double check. See. Yeah, all I wrote was that he made improvements. The really important one is that Ian McCall had added this relationship column that I think you can see over on the left. I don't know if you can see my mouse.
Yeah, father, mother, brother, GF, GM.
Yeah. So this originally was blank for everybody. It worked perfectly fine. And this is kind of the importance of testing stuff. It worked fine when we were testing it on the dev server. And, like if you downloaded the code yourself, but as soon as it went to the live server, broken. So it was blank for over a month, I think. And I couldn't figure it out or why it wasn't working. And then so Riel fixed it. So now it's working. And he also made improvements to it, because there were some bugs. And there's also some bug fixes and other improvements in for this app, and then also for the Heritage Charts app that I just have not made live yet. So, but yeah, so you can see who people are to the main WikiTree ID, which is good that that's finally fixed. And he also added a stats view. So there's various different views in the CC7 Views app. So this is the main one, which is the table, which is filterable. And then there's the hierarchy view, which, you can see,
Right.
which is, another way to view it. And then there's also the list view. Um,
Oh. Mhm.
and now Riel has added stats view, which is similar to the generational statistics app, but you could see it for your CC7, or you can see it for your ancestors or descendants. So that's pretty cool.
Very nice. Very nice.
And then I added, so I've had my old missing links app for a long time, but
Mhm.
it was very slow because it was before we had gave or added the ability to the API to request multiple profiles at once.
Mhm. Yeah.
So since the CC7 views app collects the exact same data that I needed for missing links, last year I added the missing family filter, but some people liked the layout of the missing links app better, so I added a view to add that to the profile. So it's basically the same as the other app, except it's much, much faster.
Okay.
So, it was so slow that someone put in a very high number of degrees they wanted to get, and I think it was still running 24 hours later.
Ouch.
And it made hundreds of thousands of API calls. So,
Oh no.
this won't do that. And you won't have
Don't
to
do
wait
that.
hours if you want to get your CC7. It will
Mhm.
just do it pretty quick. So that was what I added this time, is just, and then
Excellent.
so any links that are going to the old missing links app are going to go here. Although personally, I have started using this because of the filters. But for anyone that likes the other one,
Yeah.
feel
Go
to use.
ahead. Yeah. It does look pretty, the other one too.
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
trying to see if there was anything else that was added to tree apps. This, I think
See.
that was it.
I think I saw Tommy Buck doing a lot of debugging work with Riel on this one.
He did.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think Tommy does a lot of debugging work all the time. He's
Yeah.
Mhm.
always posting in Discord. And yeah, if you guys ever find a bug, Discord is definitely a good place to report it, because there's a lot of back and forth going on all the time about
Yes.
fixing bugs, and it's pretty easy to post a picture of what's going on instead of emailing back and forth and waiting and hoping that it
Mhm.
doesn't get spam. So,
Mhm.
oh yes, thank you, Tommy. That was the other.
Speaking of Tommy, he's here debugging our conversation.
Yes. So yeah, the thing, Tommy was the one that found this issue. Well, it wasn't an issue; it was a feature of the app. But previously,
Feature.
if you sorted the place, it would sort. It wouldn't sort ascending and descending. It would sort town first, and then country last. And then if you
Right.
click the sort button, it would switch, so it was country first, town last. But so
Okay.
now it does both. So if you click the location thing, it will sort by town name,
Mhm.
like A through Z. And if you click it again, it will sort, Z through A. But if you want to switch where it's country first, you press this little reverse thing, and it will do that for you. And you can also sort.
Oh, it
So.
just it reverses the actual place name.
Great.
Yes, yeah. So it will do the biggest first and the small. So
Oh, you know what? I thought that was a refresh icon, and I didn't even. I don't know why I didn't click it. I was like, I don't
for
need to
any of
refresh the
these,
data.
there's a nice little help icon in the corner,
Of course,
which
yeah.
show all the various features, except I have not written help for the missing links thing yet. So I need to do that still. But yeah, so that is what that little icon does now, is it allows you to reverse. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. And Darren's taking pride in finding bugs in my apps because he does a very good job of it. Well, and the time zone, he was the very first one to notice the time zone because Darren is in New Zealand. So it's always tomorrow for him, or almost always tomorrow for him. So anything date related he will find that before anyone else.
And so before I end, for anyone that's watching, is there anything else I missed?
Is there any-
Since Tommy, I need to add that to the recap post too, because I forgot to put that place.
Right, they're sorting. Yeah.
I kind of wrote this post last night because I wasn't going to remember everything that was done over the last month. So it's kind of for today, so we could remember. So yeah, I think that's most
it.
of the new
Now,
stuff. I mean, there were like bug fixes and other stuff that are kind of hard to show, but just in general improvements to the code, which is great.
Right. So one of the features that was added, I think before Hacktoberfest, was the ability to add additional parameters to a tree call. Has anyone actually used that yet?
Just me.
You used
so
it.
Yeah, so I added it to well, and I think so Steven Harris was the one that added the ability to add additional parameters to the apps. I think he did it for one of his apps, just kind of like as a test case, or maybe a couple apps. Because it might be the family timeline one, possibly, or the photo. No, it was the Photos app, maybe the one that shows all the.
Oh yeah.
I don't currently know what the parameters are for that. I just remember when I was testing it, there was something. But yeah, so I added some basic parameters to the CC7 app. So you can use degrees with a number up to 7, and that will set it automatically. And then I also added a CC7 views parameter, but it only works right now for missing links because I have not added it to the other views, because I kind of wanted to talk to the rest of the CC7 views developers before I decided what I should name those. So, but yeah, so yeah, the ability is there now, which is good.
Yeah. It's really cool that CC7 app is so powerful, and it's taken on a life of it. Like, there's not just one person anymore. Like, there's a bunch of you that are working on it, and eventually I want to add a little bubble, a bubble view of the CC7 as well from the 6 Degrees app. But I need to get some time.
Yeah, because if it's already collecting all that data,
well, that's exactly it. It's collecting exactly the data I need. And the 6 Degrees app is a standalone app, and it's all over there. But if it's already doing the hard work, I just have to do the visuals. So shouldn't take any time at all.
Once I reviewed like the code, I was like, oh, I really just have to kind of create a table and make sure it switches correctly, and because a lot of the work had already been done.
Yeah. Very cool.
So I think now we're gonna go over what's new in the browser extension, right?
The browser extension. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to be Vanna while Murray talks me through. Because you know what? I'm on a single laptop and I can't even see them anymore, but I can hear you, so you can tell me where to now. So I need to go to.
Well, let's start with show suggestions, I guess. Eric Stamper.
Okay. Shall I get to my own profile first? Maybe I should.
Sure.
Okay, so if I go to here, oh, you mean should I be going into the browser extension?
Yeah, function? Go ahead and type in suggestion in the search box.
Look at that.
So this is something that Eric did. And see, you can see the show extensions is there. And the cool thing about this search feature is that whatever words you type in there, it's looking not only in the title, but it's also looking like in the options. So if you typed a word that was only in the options, but wasn't visible anywhere, the search is going to dig all the way down into there and find the feature that you're looking for,
right?
Or the features, right?
Yeah, like language setting didn't have the word. Like when I close that, there's no suggestions there. But when I show the options, there it is. Yeah, location suggestions.
Right. So the show suggestions. Now you have your automatically. So you have automatically show the suggestions on every product. You have that turned off. It looks like.
I do, but I can turn it back on.
I find that really helpful because you get to a page and you immediately see, are there any suggestions on this page?
Right.
Because otherwise you have to go and click on. So let's look at that suggestions button.
Okay.
And it's just, you just need to scroll down a little bit.
Oh, do you want me to go back to the?
No, just scroll down your page a bit.
I need to reload it probably, right?
Oh yeah, good idea.
Reload. Okay. So this is my own. So this is going to be embarrassing. All the suggestions that'll be popping up.
Well, you don't need to scroll that far.
Oh, did I miss it?
Yeah, just go back up to your sub menu, the tabs, and so you see whoops, stop. See suggestions over there on the far right.
There it is.
Yeah. Look at that. See, so it's already showing you that there's 2 suggestions, and there's an unknown parameter in a template. And
that is.
You know what it is? Okay, good for you. So immediately you know what's going on that page, and if you want to go and fix those, you can. Yeah, pretty handy. I mean, and the other is there's a similar feature with regard to. Oh yeah, I remember. It's something that Ian added, and that is, where is it now? Pending merges filters.
Pending merges filters. Yes. Let me just search for penned. There we are. Okay. Yeah. I've got that turned on.
Yeah, and there's no options on that. And so if you go to your, now I think it's under Find, the Find menu. And pending go down to Pending Merges. Yeah. Now this is going to show you all the pending merges that are all over WikiTree. And it unfortunately, it doesn't give you a number. Well, no, I mean, I just wish it showed me.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
You've already clicked on hide your pre 1500, pre 1700, and not open. Okay. Looks like. So basically, it's just going to remove those from the list, right? So if you don't have a pre 1500 badge or a pre 1700 badge, you don't want to see this stuff. And also, if the profile's not open, then you're not going to be able to edit it. So why bother looking, right?
Right.
And unless you're specifically looking for something and trying to understand, conundrum going on the tree. But otherwise, you want to get rid of those. And then now you can scan down and you can look and see what profiles are available. Now, these are all merges that have been proposed and they've been approved, but they haven't been completed for some reason. Now, I went in here yesterday to try and, well, geez, this is someplace where you can help clean up the tree. And I found it really difficult, especially these first ones, because I just couldn't figure out if the merge really was appropriate. And so I backed. I did find one that I was able to merge, but yeah, I just was uncertain about these, and I think I found they were either living people or close to living people, and I thought, no, I don't want to mess with that. I don't want to get involved in anything too close to current time, so maybe we need some other filters in here. But for a start, this is great. I mean, it helps clean it up a little bit and find what you want to look for.
Yeah, and so they've been approved by presumably the profile manager of each of the 2 different ones.
Right.
But maybe each of them thought, well, I guess now the other person's going to do it. And so no one's taken the lead.
Right. No, I had this happen myself yesterday. I have a cousin who lives here in town, and I've encouraged her to do the genealogy, and she's been doing more and more on WikiTree. But she hasn't quite figured out how to use Sorcerer exactly. And so when she does make a change, I usually go and clean up her sources and maybe go look and see if I can find more sources for those people. And so yesterday I saw that she added a profile. We already had one. Okay, but with a different last name, So anyway, so I told her, that we need to merge these 2, and she had never done a merge.
Right.
So I got her to do a merge.
First and merge is very scary. I can tell you. I remember that.
Right. Yeah.
It is.
But so anyway, she accomplished it and told me that she got it done. I went and took a look, and I had to add a couple of blank lines to the page to to clean it up. But otherwise, it worked really well. So it's just one of the ways that we can help clean up the tree.
Nice.
So then there's two features that Ian added in addition to this one. And those are the help feature and the collapsible profiles. And I think of them as a pair because for me, I want both of those. And so what I'd like you to do is, if you can get to it, I would like you to go to the WBE page itself.
Okay.
And the way that you can do that is just click on the question. There you go.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Well, the quickest way I just find the first question mark I can click on.
Yep.
So there we are.
All right.
Oh.
So yeah, you can. So you're watching it. It's doing its work, sorting itself out. It's not quite done yet. It looks like.
Oh. Is it doing something else?
Have you got them turned on?
Turned.
The features?
Let me just see. So the feature was
help.
Collapse.
Okay, collapsible. Yeah, collapsible profiles you have turned on.
Oh.
And you haven't enabled any of them.
I haven't enabled them. I had them on.
Add the toggle buttons.
Okay.
And for profiles, collapse your research notes, sources, and acknowledgements.
Right.
And for and then collapse all sections in there. Now you can set it differently if you want later, but just for now, let's do it like that.
Now, yeah. And you know what? I had that turned on at one point. Oh, you know what?
Yes, you did.
On with the live version when it went
right.
live, and not in the preview versions.
Right. We're in the preview version today.
There we go.
Right. And so it jumps straight to the access keys. Now let's go back up to the top.
That's the thing I had up there, right? Yes. And
take a minute.
Wait a minute. It's thinking.
No, let it find itself.
Okay, sorry. Hands off the keyboard.
Yep. Go back to the top of the page.
Okay.
And okay, so you see the plus sign beside WikiTree browser extension. All right. So if you click that, that's going to open everything up. That means your table of contents is wide open. Nothing's hidden. And if you scroll down through the page, you'll see that all the sections are open. Everything's wide open. You can just look at the whole thing, right? Now go back up to the top. You can use Command Arrow to get to the top.
Right.
And close it.
Okay.
Okay. So now let's go back down and see what's happened.
Ooh.
So our table of contents has collapsed itself. And you can see the whole page. If you scroll down, you can see from installation all the way down to acknowledgements. Yes, it's all closed up.
Yeah.
Right. So now you can work your way through a page without having stuff open, without having to scroll through a ton of stuff to get to the one that you're looking for.
Yeah.
Right. And that may be the sources. You might be only interested in the sources. You just want to check what kind of sources are there and move on. So you can set it up so that the sources are left open. And you know, when you're performing different kinds of functions, you might have the settings slightly different because today you want to look at sources, tomorrow you want to look at acknowledgements. Yeah. You know, another time you want to look at the biography. So now let's look inside features.
Okay.
And scroll down a bit. And let's go to you pick. Doesn't matter which one.
Okay, well, let's look at the profile features. And
open one up.
I like to change the family lists around myself.
Okay, so now you'll see. You just go look there. So you'll see it. You'll see the toggle, and you'll see show up. Go ahead and click on the show options.
There's the
now. If you didn't have this feature enabled, what you would see there would be a screenshot of what that toggle looks like.
Right.
So for people who don't have the web browser extension, they still see something,
but
they can't interact with it.
Right.
But if you've got this feature enabled, the help feature,
it's a lot.
You set it live. You can make whatever adjustments you want, and then refresh the page, and it's going to show you what you need.
Okay.
Now this came about because of the two of you.
It's our fault.
No, I wouldn't say fault.
No.
You highlighted something for me when on the first of these Hacktoberfest sessions. I watched the two of you trying to show different WikiTree features, and you were having to, click on that to open that part up. And then you would jump to another page, and then you would jump to another page, and you'd have to come back to the options. And it was like, oh my God, this is painful. So I thought, well, gee, the easy thing to do if you want to show off a feature, and also if you want examples.
Yeah.
Right. Because I've already put an example in. It's just going to make it easier for everybody, so they can find their example. They can show off some little detail about this, and then move on to the next thing that they want to talk about. So I asked Ian if he could do this, and by steps, I think it took a day and a half. He just added a little bit more at a time, and there we have it. So that makes this a lot easier now. So for a lot of people coming to WikiTree browser extension, the question is, well, what features should I have, and how's that going to look, and what, blah blah blah. Well, now you can have the help page open. You can decide what you want to do, and then you can go look on it on another page and see that it have the effect that you wanted.
Yeah. Nice.
So I find this really,
these
are my two recent favorite features: is the collapsible and the help.
Yeah. That's really amazing. Yeah.
Now I should mention, while we're here and talking about web browser extension, I got some numbers yesterday.
Ooh, numbers
from Ian. And from Jamie, about the uptake of the web browser extension. And then this morning, I got some information from Rob about the Sorcerer. And, on the one hand, I'm really, I think everybody should be happy about these numbers, and to show that in the course of the 2 years that web browser extension has existed, there are currently 4,286 Chrome users. There are 748 Firefox users. And this is a real surprise. There are 6.3 thousand Safari users.
Really?
With 3,700 of those being on an iPhone.
Wow.
But I think some of those are download or like re-downloads, but
that's amazing.
Still a lot.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can't be certain about these numbers, but this is what's reported. But the most surprising number out of all of these for web browser extension is that there is one version of web browser extension running on an Apple Vision Pro.
No.
Yes.
Is that yours?
Now, no, it's not mine. I don't have an Apple Vision Pro, and I don't think you do either, Greg.
I don't. I want one.
So I'm speaking to the Apple Vision Pro user here, and
Whoever
I'm saying, could you please contact us?
Yes.
We want to know about your experience. We want to know if we need to put any additional information in the help pages. We want to know if there's any features that Ian needs to add to the extension itself to accommodate the Vision Pro.
That's right.
Anyway,
the purchase of an Apple Vision Pro is a development expense.
So by contrast, I'd like to point out that on Chrome, as compared to web browser extension, Sorcerer has 3,653 what Rob characterized as weekly users. There are 565 on Firefox and 1,180 on Safari. Now, I'd like to make a suggestion. I'm not sure if this is the place to do that, but I'm going to do it anyway.
You've got the floor.
Well, we've had some talk recently about showing ads on WikiTree, and how ads are shown to people who don't have an account, but if you do have an account, you don't get ads. And I'm just wondering whether we need to have some ads to draw people towards Sorcerer, the browser extension, and B. Because honestly, I know that we should be proud of these numbers that we're seeing. On the other hand, to me, this seems kind of low. I would have thought that there would be tens of thousands of people using these tools. So I'm encouraging more people to use these extensions, and I want the team to think about, should we be trying trying in other ways to encourage people to adopt these tools.
Yeah, they're very powerful. They really are. How many were in using the WikiTree browser extension on Chrome? I missed that first number because I was flipping the screens.
Yeah, on Chrome it was 4286.
4286. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that just the stable version, or is that combined with stable and preview?
The preview is, we have a separate number for preview, which is 354 on Chrome.
Oh, okay.
48 on Firefox, and I don't have a specific number for Safari.
I think Safari might have been combined between the two.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I didn't see any for the preview
Right.
specifically. So,
Sure.
Well, I guess all of our, is it the case that all of our preview users are on, what's that thing called, test flight?
No, I don't think so, because I think they had to be invited specifically by email. So
Interesting. Yeah.
So those are the new features for web browser extension. Thank you for allowing me the time to share that with you.
No problem. Yeah. Well, the browser extensions, I mean, it changes completely how the main page functions and works. It adds so many new features. And then the Sorcerer extension that Rob does is just so super powerful. And the WikiTree B extension, which, you know, a couple of years ago, I thought, well, you know, maybe that's going to phase out. I think maybe Ian even thought that it would phase out, you know, as he moved functions over to the WikiTree browser extension. But there's some really powerful stuff that's there, and the new stuff that was added as well. Are you going to show that, Jamie?
yeah, I'm going to do it really quickly because we only have a few minutes, but I have the screens open.
Excellent.
Here is my ancestry tree, or one of the people in my ancestry tree. And so with the new WikiTree B, oh gosh, what is the feature called? It's called, I think this is only on preview. So there's the Ancestry Match and GeneaNet Match features under tree linking. So what that does is that on Ancestry, it will add little tiny WikiTree icons next to the people in your tree, so you can see if they're linked to WikiTree or not. And so right now you can see that everyone's gray, which means they're not linked. So what I will do is show you what happens when you link it. So I already have the profile open, so I'm going to copy this ID and I'm going to stick it in here. And so now you can see this orange icon at the top, which means he's linked, and it tried to automatically link everyone in the family. I think because people's names are different, it didn't quite link everybody. But yeah, so that's really cool. So you can like browse your tree. How do you view? And see who is linked, like at a quick glance, like who has a profile on WikiTree, which is really cool. I'm not sure why the invisible parents have. But yeah, so that's really cool. So it kind of like helps you figure out like who you need to add to WikiTree and stuff like that. So this has been added to Ancestry, and the other site it's on is GeneaNet, which I don't know how many people have trees there, but I think it only works on the profile view right now.
I think it said something like that, yeah.
There might be another view. I kind of didn't review this before for this thing, so I was doing it while Murray was showing stuff off. But you can see on here, there's also little icons. So I will also link this profile, and we'll see what happens because I have not tested it. So yeah, so you can see it's here. Guess I think because the last names are spelled differently, it's not
finding every single one
automatically linking. But so yeah, so you can do the same thing here, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. And that's very cool because we just have someone who's joined us from France. Julien Cassin has joined us from France. And so when you just showed us right now, that was great.
Okay. Yeah. And yeah, and when you click on one of these icons, it will take you to the profile. I don't know if it does
directly,
it on the tree, but
Doesn't
so
it take you to the WikiTree profile?
yes, I think. Oh, maybe not.
Oh.
Or up here it does. There we go.
Oh, the one up there, up top, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, it's still in the preview version. So I think he. This was done by Jeff
Crew, I think.
Jeff Crew. Thank you for reminding me of his last name. I think he's still working on it. I know he was trying to add it to other sites, but there were some issues with how those sites were loading trees and stuff.
Right.
And then because it's on B, it doesn't work in Safari. So maybe we can convince him to move it over to the browser extension. So yeah,
there's a philosophical problem there. Is that browser extension doesn't go outside of WikiTree.
Yes, but I did ask Chris if it was okay if we added external sites to it, and he was fine with it. So we could do that. There's no issue that I found with like that we would run into by doing that. The only thing that could happen is like with WikiTree Sorcerer, when you add a new site, it will disable it for people, and they'll have to say, yes, I give it new permissions.
Right.
That's the only problem I can see.
Right.
I want to encourage you along those lines because I want this on Safari.
You do. Okay.
Pretty cool. Like
you're not saying no. So does the Sorcerer work on Safari?
Yes.
Sorcerer?
Yes. So the thing with Apple is that you have to pay to publish it.
Right.
And so that has not been done with B. So.
Right. Okay. Neat. Well, thank you, both of you, for going through all that, because so much work was done this month. It was wonderful stuff. The tree apps stuff, the browser extension stuff. And what was really exciting is having new developers join the team and help collaborate. And they came on previous weeks, so you can watch. If you haven't seen all of our Thursday wrap-ups or weekly updates, you should watch some of those, because everyone that we talked about who did something new did come on at one point. So
yes, that
was great. But anyways, thanks everyone who would come out. Now there is one more Hacktoberfest adjacent feature in WikiTree Week, and that is this Saturday at 12 noon. There's going to be an hour-long Zoom, which is open to anyone to join, and it's basically going to be a tech Q&A. So I'm hosting that, and I'm hoping some of my friends will come in and join me, because it's just sort of a wide open, come ask your tech questions about whether it's about the tree apps, whether it's about browser extensions. No, I can't fix your printer problems. But if it's WikiTree related, then we'll have a go at it. And so that's it's sort of a wide open hour. Whatever is asked, we will try our best to solve. And so that'll be fun. Noon on Saturday, after the regular Saturday roundup. So see you then. But before that, there's lots of other WikiTree Week events happenings, including let's see. They're including the wrap up tonight at 8 p.m. But there's also something else happening 4-ish. I know Azure's in the chat. I don't have my window open, so I can't tell you what it is exactly. But she's suggesting we share our selfies. There's lots of great things. So check out all the great festivities for WikiTree Week and WikiTree Day today. So also, happy WikiTree Day.
Someone asked if there was a list of everything new. Yes, it's the WikiTree Hacktoberfest wrap-up post. I will pin it to the top of G2G after this.
Excellent. That's great. Yeah. Oh, and Azure, as I knew she would, she answers my question. 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock with our games, WikiTree Trivia and WikiTree Word Search. So come join for that fun. So I think that's it for now. I have to go. I have to go to the rest of the church and do something else there. But anyways, have a great day, everyone. Happy WikiTree Day. And again, thanks again, Jamie and Murray, for joining me. See you all around.
Bye.
Bye.